예, 학교 전화 부르세요. 아, 수고했어요. 네네.
Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year. Okay, we're starting today is the page 65. 65 is the today's study. Will. Will is the young person needs not will, but who knows? Yeah, if you have any property, you don't have any will, all the property, when you die, go to the court. That's a terrible. Court make a decision, the will about around 2 years. Too much spend time. Will, and then you can write down that any the regulation at any time make it the will, but legally, if you have a two-person witness, is that the no will at least two-person witness. That's most important. Will last will and testament of my name, 나의 will이면서 my will, and I, my name one more time, a resident of my address, county, declare that this is my will. First, I revoke at wills and codicil that I have previously made. This is so important. First line is my name and address. Second one, I revoke all will and codicil that I have previously made. If this line is not making when I that so many will appear. For example, 3 children will 3, wife 4, any other person is 5. So many will appear. That's so important. I revoke all wills and codicil that I have previously made. Second, I'm not currently married. I'm not currently married. I have no children now living, nor have I deceased the children who died and left issue. This was so important declaration. I'm not currently married. I have no children now living, nor have I any deceased children who died and left issue. If not, so many children appeared. Third, I give all my jewelry, clothing, household furniture, and furnishing, personal automobile, and other tangible articles of a person's nature, or my interest in any such of property not otherwise disposed of my this will or in any other manner, together with any insurance on the property to somebody and who present residence at my address, if he or she survives me my 30 days. This is important also. He or she survives me by 30 days. And if he or she does not survive days, then I give said property to somebody who present residence at address, and if she or promise if he or she does no survives me, then I give said property to somebody who presently reside at an address. And if she or he does not survives me by 30 days, then to somebody named who present resident reside at address, otherwise to pass with the residence of my estate. First, I gave the residue of my estate as follows to, for example, first son, who presently reside at his address, should he or she survives me by 30 days, share and shared alike. Number two, if somebody who presently reside at address does not survive with me 30 days by, then to somebody who presently reside at also the address, should he or she survives me by 30 days, and if he or she should not so survives me, then I gave up the rest and the residue of my estate to those persons who would have taken said property under the interstate laws of the state of some place, for example, for California. Fifth, I nominate who shall be represented by somebody, an executor of this will, to survive without bond, if he or she shall any reason fail to qualify as if executor. I nominate who shall be represented by somebody as executor to survive without bond. The term my executor as money as executor to serve without bond. This term by executor as used in this will shall include any personal representative of my estate. I authorize my executor to sell with or without notice at either public or private sale, and to leave any property belong to my estate, subject only to such confirmation of court as may be required by law. This one is page 65. 65, we do the will. I authorize my executor to sell with or without notice at either public or private sale, and to lease any property belong to my estate, subject only to such confirmation of the court as may be required by law. I authorize my executor to invite on the first page. I authorize my executor to sell with or without notice at either public or private sale, and to leave any property belong to my estate subject only to such confirmation of court as may be required by law. I authorize my executor to invest any surplus money in the executor's hands in every kind of property, real, personal, or mixed, and every kind. One more time. I authorize my executor to invest any surplus money in the executor's hands in every kind of property, real, personal, or mixed, and every kind of investment, specifically including but not limited to interest herein account, corporate obligations of every kind, inferred or common stocks, share of investment trust, investment company, mutual fund. Corporate obligation of every kind, preferred or common stocks, share of investment trust, investment company, mutual funds or common trust funds, including funds administered by the executor, and mortgage participations that man of prudence, discretion, and intelligence acquire for their own account. Next, 66th page, page 66. Title 6. I direct that all inheritance, estate, or other death tax, including any additional tax imposed on the IRS, meaning Internal Revenue Code section 232A, or any generation for somebody dead and happen to the insurance and tax, not insurance, the tax, so much the tax should pay. Almost 50% tax should pay. Tax may be reason of my death, be attributable of any my probate estate or any portion of it, or to any property or transfer of property outside my probate estate, shall be paid by my executor out to the residents.
Is it okay to take this?
Of my estate, dispose of this will without adjustment among the residually beneficiary, and shall not be changed against or collected by any beneficiary. Any probate estate or from my transferring or beneficially of any property outside my probate estate. Section 6. If any beneficiary under this manner, directly or indirectly, contest or attack this will or any of its provisions, and share or interest of my assets used. I subscribed my name to this will on date, for example, January 2nd, 2024, at my address. On the date written below, declare to us, the undersigned, that this instrument, consisting of these few pages, including the page signed by us as a witness, was his or her will requested as to somebody act as witness to it. On the date written below, I declare to us, the undersigned, that will instrument, consisting of these few pages, including the page signed by us as a witness, as his or her will be requested us to act as a witness to it. He or she thereupon signed this will in our presence, all of us, all being present at the same time. We now, at his or her request, in his or her presence and the presence of each other, subscribe my name as witness. Each state that the tester is non-minor and appears to be sound of mind, and that the foregoing instrument or any part of it was procured by readiness, means fraud of undue influence, which such of himself or herself declare that each of us is over the age of minority, and that each of us and the other appears to be sound of mind. We each for himself or herself declares, on the penalty of perjury, that the foregoing is true and correct, and that his attestation, and this declaration, and executed on today's date, month, date of 2024. Witness is over two persons. At least two persons a witness is effective. Witness name and residing at his address. Second person, witness name and residing at address. That's all. Witness meaning just he made for the will. He made the will I saw. That's all. witness doesn't matter. It is witness is good or not doesn't matter. He's not with jury. His jury just he made this one. Doesn't matter. Real simple form. Next page is the same one. Next page is past. Page 69. Next one is page 69, property settlement agreement. Some property, somebody over 2 persons they made the settlement. We are 1 person, hereinafter called husband, and somebody named hereinafter called wife. We were married on that's the time, January 2nd, 2024, and and separated on some date because irrevocable difference. California, all that doesn't matter. They don't have any reason. If somebody that's a divorce, reason for irreconcilable difference. That's all. All other reason they don't need it. Irreconcilable difference have caused this permanent breakdown of our marriage. We have made this agreement together to settle once and for all that we owe to each other and what we expect from each other. Each of us state here and nothing have been held back. Then we have honestly and included everything we could think of in listing the money and the goods we own. We have made this agreement together to settle once and for all what we owe to each other and that we expect from each other. Each of us state here that nothing have been held back, that we have honestly and included everything we could think of in listing the money and the goods we own. Each of us agreed to sign and exchange any proper papers that might be needed to complete this agreement. Even this property settlement agreement, they made it, that's not separate. Even that made this document, they should apply to the court, Superior Court petition of the separate divorce. After document, this document is not the final, should remember, division of community property. We divided our community property as follows. Husband transferred to wife as a household and a separate property. For example, one house, husband is gonna give that to wife. Husband transferred to wife as a sole and separate property. Number 2, wife transfer to husband to his sole and separate property. Or if I give that any document, just wife only, husband think, oh, that's too terrible. In case if they have a child, husband transfer to wife as a household and separate property. This line to wife and my son as a household and separate property. Number 2 also. 3, division of community property. Community property. This one. Second is community property is the property. Third one is property but debt. Second one is more better, but third one is more better, just that. Husband shall pay the following debt and will at any time hold wife responsible for them. For example, for the property debt, mortgage payment, private payment, or any other property debt. Number 2, wife shall pay the following debt and will at any time, and husband responsibility to them. Number 3, just debt, credit card or payment, the vehicle payment, house payment, credit card payment, or other payment. Number 4, waiver of spousal support. Each of us if some making that this section waiver of spousal support, in case they can change for the personal property. Date and husband, date and wife. This make them just husband and wife settlement. When they make settlement, they make them for the separate. Next page, property settlement agreement, the same thing, but pass. This property, why? Next page is the same thing, pass. 71. We do the 72, assignment of lease, 72. Assignment of lease. Assignment of lease meaning one person, they made a lease paper, but if before they expire the lease, they break the lease in case somebody, okay, all of my duty and he can responsibility, right, assignment of lease. If assignment of lease, he signed the paper, when he cannot pay any debt, no other person is responsibility. But if not, just the sign of the lease, that's mean that we are sublease. Sublease meaning if he cannot pay the sublease, the original leaser should pay. For example, 5 years lease, but the 2 years is good paying, and then 3 years left. He signed on the somebody signed the 3 years lease, I will pay. But if not paying, original leaser should pay. But somebody signed assignment of lease, I will pay in case he signed on the assignment of lease, he doesn't have any normal responsibility. Assignment of lease should pay. That's important. For good and valuable consideration, receipt of which is hereby acknowledged. Somebody as tenant, and somebody as a landlord, and somebody as assignee. First one is landlord and tenant, but break this lease paper, assignee should pay. But if he has the assignee, tenant is no more responsibility. Hereby I read to the following assignment of lease. Tenant hereby assign, transfer and convey to assignee all this his right and interest. Interest meaning that the same means the right. Under a 13 lease dated month date and then 2024 lease. A copy of which is annexed hereto by and between the tenant and landlord for the preference premise. Premise meaning property, same meaning. Premise, property, same meaning. Described as meaning for deed of trust. They have a legal terminology put right down here, normally 2 to 4 lines. This assignment shall remain in full force and effect from somebody for all the remainder of the lease term, subject to all conditions, including payment of rent, all covenant conditions and terms of the within lease. The landlord assents to the assignment of said lease shall not discharge. Tenant of its obligation under the lease in the event of a breach by the assignee. This assignment shall ensure that he be that one is sold, same thing, date, tenant, date, assignee, date, landlord. 3 persons should sign on the paper. After this assignment doesn't have any responsibility to sign, the tenant. That's important. Next, 73, final notice before legal action. Normally, this notice before legal action, final notice of before legal action, we should give that the 30 days to the other party, to somebody, gentlemen or ladies. We have repeatedly requested payment of some amount on your overdue account. Our demands for payment have been ignored. For special have been ignored. Third line, accordingly, okay, some amount should pay. I give you that the time, 10 days, 1 week doesn't matter, but then normally we gave 30 days. 표현 미해한 borrower promised to pay to 남순아 landlord the sum of $150,000 together with interest thereon at the rate of 10% per annual payable as follows. Borrowed $40,000 on March 2000, $30,000 June 2001, $40,000 on May 2002, and will borrow $50,000 for 2004. Me and Han will go to the Korea and Namsune until February 29, 2004. Payment of interest only shall be due and payable in the amount of $10,000 and the final payment in the amount of $150,000. True amount is to put right down all the line, and then I will pay altogether. This note may be prepaid in whole or in part of any time without premium or penalty, in whole or in part at any time without premium or penalty. All prepayment shall be applied first to interest, then to principal payment in the order of their maturity. The undersigned agree to pay all cost and expense, including all responsible attorney fee for the collection of this notice upon default. All payments shall be made in Seoul, Korea, or Los Angeles, California, or at such other place at the holder hereof may from time to time designate in writing. Each maker surely guarantor and endorser of this note waives presentment notice and protest or surely ship defense and agree to all extension, renewals, or release, discharge of exchange of any other party or collateral without notice. Allow somebody. If you getting for the promissory note as possible signature or witness, it's better, much better. If other form, from next to page 76, promissory note demand joint and several liability. For valuable received I, we name undersigned valor jointly several promise to pay to somebody, lender, or order the sum of total amount, for example, $100,000, together with interest thereon at the rate of somebody percent, normally 10% per annum. This the entire unpaid principal and accrued interest thereon, if any, shall become immediately due and payable and demand by the whole interest. This not may be prepaid in whole or in part or any time without premium or penalty. All prepayment shall be applied first to interest, then to principal payment in the order of their maturity. The undersigned agree to pay all costs and expense, including all reasonable attorney fee for other places at the holder hereof may from time to time designate in writing, witness somebody, and then date follower. He has the one witness. Witness, or if this follower not paying, our responsibility. That's meaning for the witness. Put right here. Promissory note, cities. Cities meaning for the whenever I borrow the money, one by one is making $100,000 and a date. For value received, we borrower promise to pay 200 to the of $100,000, of somebody is a lender, the sum of $100,000 payable at meaning for the place, Los Angeles, and interest at the rate of 10% present per annum. This note is number in a 13 series of notes. 10 times divided our pay. Should there be default in the payment of any of the notes, then at the option in the holder hereof, the remaining note within the series shall immediately become due and payable, signed on the seal of month and date and month, year, witness below, two persons sign on the paper. Then next to page 70A is the open account. Open account meaning for variable received undersigned promise to pay of the order of the sum of $100,000 together with the interest thereon at the rate of 10% annual on the unpaid balance. Said principal and interest shall be payable as follows. The undersigned may prepay this note in whole or in part without penalty in the event any payment due under hereunder is not paid when due. The entire balance shall be immediately due and payable upon demands of the holder. Upon default, the undersigned shall pay all reasonable attorney fee and the cost necessary for the collection of these notes. This note is the exact to evidence at existing indebtedness due to payable from the undersigned on open account balance of this date, and this note shall not be construed as a separate obligation, signed under seal this date of month, of year, and name. All the different forms promissory note. $75 is a different style, but the same. Promissory note demands. For variable received these, the undersigned borrower promised to pay to lender name order of sum of the amount, total amount, and then together with the interest thereon at the rate of 10% per annum, the entire unpaid principal and accrued interest thereof, if any, shall become immediately due and payable on demands by the holder hereof. This amount may be prepaid in whole or in part, any time without premium or penalty. All prepayment shall be applied first to interest, then the principal payment in the order of their maturity. Should the debtor fail to make payment as above, the entire unpaid principal and accrued interest sum thereon, if any day income immediately due and payable on time by the holder of, the undersigned agree to pay all cost and expense, including all reasonable attorney fee, for the collection of this notice upon default. All payments shall be made at the city of Los Angeles or at such other place at the holder hereof may from time designate in writing. date follow, and then witness. Witness should pay. If that is not paying, that date. And then the next page is just a notice. If somebody not paying the debt, attorney send for the notice. Attorney name, September 18, 2002, Chris Upsop, Donna Chef, address, debtor's address. Note and deed of trust dated February 19, 1997. Mr. and Mrs. Sharp. This is just a notice. This office represents Barbara Cook in connection with that 13 note and the deed of trust dated February 18, 1997. I'm informed by our client that you are in default of total amount $81,000. Please be advised that if the total amount to be bring the notice current is not received in September 30, 2002 at 5 p.m. This office will proceed with the accumulation of the note and institution for foreclosure proceeding. The note of our including a client is secured by deed of trust against your property located at 2050 Premarital Avenue, South Pasadena, California. Payment must be certified check, money order, or cash, and be received in our office as described above to pay the foreclosure action. If somebody rents the money and not paying that date, but this one is the secured his property. If that date not paying, your house is starting for the foreclosure. If it's starting for the foreclosure, house is gone. That's so strong. The strong notice by attorney for the final notice to him. That one. Next one. Declaration. What's a declaration? I hereby, Boyoung Kim, declare that I met Mr. Kyung-hoon Kim in Korea 1 year ago, but he couldn't control his temper and always rudeness, and we requested money for his make pleasure. Whenever I make a refusal against his request, he made me threat. I decided I should purr from him and made me threat. He told me he served a prison for 4 years, and he can go to the prison at any time. He threatened me he will come to my home at any time, but I prayed to come to my home and met my family. Also, I worried he has a weapon at any time. I don't want to make a problem anymore with him. I certified under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California, ongoing is true and correct. What do you think about that? This declaration, somebody make for the declaration, and then where he should issue that original place. This declaration, why he made declaration? Yeah, he issued this declaration to the police office. Police office put right down and then to issue to the police office, and then police come to this person is arrested. If everything is true, he should go to jail. This kind of declaration, no special form. I made him 4 years ago, and then his rudeness, and sometimes he threatened me. He wanted money, and then if I don't have any money, he said that he threatened me, and then he said that I already paid. I already spent 4 years in prison. And then he has to any declaration put right down the last line, I declare the penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that foregoing is true and correct. This one is so important. If this line don't have any, that's not declaration, not the legal action. Put right here, I certify on the penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that foregoing is true and correct. That's so important. Should put right down the declaration. Okay, that's the next page. State of California, County of Los Angeles, on date before me. This one is just a declaration. That's not important. Next one is the family census register. Family census register. This is Korea. Any country, they have a family census register. If not, different name, different form. But anyway, that's so important. Family registers. Permanent address, somebody. Description, complied on April 21, 1981. Meaning complied on March 7, 1986, in accordance with the report of family register from 110 석홍리, 정동, 용기동, somebody. This family register was recorded on April 1st, 2002, under the compilation system of accordance with the Article 2 of the Civil Application Law. Family head. Family head is the father. Name of food, somebody. Date of birth, somebody. father's name, Kim-ok-son. Name of a father, family of a head name, mother's name, family origin, formal registered, something. Description, this person's description, born at 346 Sinandong, what's that? 조키원리, 연기군, 충남도, and he was reported by father on October 30, 1947. It was forwarded by head of Jongki-won up 연기군, November 30, 1947. As the police, the legal branch family, due to the marriage report to Kim in Ja, divorced from wife Kim in Ja by mutual agreement, reported the marriage to Kim Son-ok on March 7, 1986. Something like that. This person is, for example, another country is they have a birth certificate. Birth certificate is making. Yeah, that's not important. That's birth certificate any different country. The last one is number 87, consumer fair. Consumer fair is so important place. If you have any problem purchasing the material is bad. If not, you go to the body shop, you request for the repair the car, that bad. Any consumer, any problem, you should place in the United States, best place is the consumer fair. If you go to the consumer fair, everything is can solve, especially for restaurant, buying the food. That's the food is bad. I got a bill, and then body shop, and if I go to the department store, I purchase some material, that material is bad. In case consumer fair, California Department of Consumer Fair. Consumer Fair is California Department of Consumer Fair, and then also Los Angeles Department of Consumer Fair. Any city, any state, they have consumer fair. Consumer fair report is a simple report. For example, welcome to the general online complaint form. The Department of Consumer Affairs is here to help California be careful considers and to protect them from unscrupulous and unqualified individual. Please read the information collection. Use the access notice below. Business. business professional you want to file a complaint against, field, market with the asterisk are required business professional name. For example, body shop or store or any place. License number, we don't have any, doesn't matter. Address and street, state, G, California, telephone number. If you got in for the business card, everything is there. Business professional email address. Please briefly describe your complaint. Complaint. When I come for example, November 27, 2023, I get it for my car. My car's name for the Toyota Camry, license number, getting some problem. I stop by to the Orange Body Shop, and he charged $1,000. He spent 1 week. But even I paid $1,000 1 week, spent it. After I receiving my car, same problem after 3 days. If I go to, when I go to the body shop again, they said same amount, the different place happened to the problem. I paid the same amount, and after 1 week, happened to the same problem. In case, that's enough. You don't need that the long story. Just I paid it, he did not perfect repair. Just they made him another money. That's all. What was the date of purchase? Incident, some date. What do you want to person or company to resolve your complaint? Body shop's the owner, please list the supporting document in your possession on such as invoice, receipt, warranties, picture, something. If you have any receipt, that's enough. If you don't have any receipt, take the picture, that's enough. Have you filed in this complaint with any other agency or organization? No. If yes, please provide any and all of the following: agency name, person helping you, phone name, case number. If somebody, any other complaint, just a simple place and time, simple complaint. If you file for the simple complaint, this consumer affairs send your complaint form to them, and then you should answer within 1 week. Why did this happen to this problem? And then they receiving the letter. Oh no, that's so different. I repaired sincerely, and then second one is different places, and then also I repaired it sincerely. In case consumer affairs should come to that place, if they do not any problem, consumer affairs have a good judicial right. They cancel for the body shop license. They should restaurant license. They have a strong right. If you have any problem, consumer affairs is very good place. Sure to remember how you can find that the consumer affairs. telephone number 411, Consumer Fair, Los Angeles City, or Consumer Fair, California State. They gave the name. And then if somebody, you call to them, do you have any email address? They have it. All the reports by email, not come to the office. And then to strong action, they have a too strong action, too much. You don't need, if you think that the hours so the headache, I lost money someplace, you don't go to the attorney office, you don't go to the police office, you go to the consumer fair. Consumer fair is strong. Consumer fair, district attorney handle. Consumer fair, police office is handle. They have a strong right. First thing is body shop. If you go to the body shop and best police complain. Also, you get for the apartment. Apartment is to go to the apartment 2-3 months, leave that place. So many have happened to the complaint, water problem or restaurant problem, restroom problem, and any animal problem, something. If you get to the manager or owner, they didn't do it. In case consumer fair report that the best place consumer fair is come to right away that place, and then they give that the notice to them. If you trying to solve this problem right away, we should report to district attorney. You should go to jail. It's so important. Consumer fair. You should remember you live in the United States. Best to your friend is consumer fair. Yeah, not attorney. Attorney is requested for a lot of money. But consumer fair is need not the money. Consumer fair, just the telephone number is 411. Yeah, 411. You call.
Just 411?
Yeah, just the 411. And then you call the consumer fair in Los Angeles right away. They give the telephone number. If there's some place it's a long place, for a consumer fair in California, in case the state of California, any problem happen to you, any problem is the consumer fair. New Year, you don't have any happen to the problem. You doesn't keep any happen to the problem, your headache. Your friend is consumer fair. Okay, next page about you and your information. Enter your first name, last name, address, number, city, something, daytime telephone number, email address. That's all. You have your information. You don't need any driver license. You don't need any social security number, any green card number. No, doesn't matter. Nothing. Describe information collection, use and address. Collection and the use of personal information. Department of Consumer Affairs collect information request on this form as authorized by business and the professional code section 325 and 326. The department use this information to follow up on your complaint. Providing personal information is voluntary. You do not have to provide the information, personal information requested. If you do not wish to provide personal information such as your name, home address, home telephone number, and you may remain anytime the animals. In that case, however, we may not be able to contact you or help you resolve your complaint. Access to your information. You may read the recorded maintenance by the department that contain your personal information as permitted by the Information Practice Act. See below for contact information. Possible disclosure of personal information. In order to follow up on your complaint, we may need to share the information you gave us with the business you may complain about or with the other government agency. This may include sharing any personal information you gave us. The information you provide may also be disclosed in the following circumstances. In responses to a public recorder act request, as is allowed by the Internal Practice Act, to anyone, to another government agency as required by state or federal law, in responsible to a court or administrative order to subpoena or such warrant. Contact information. For request about this notice, the Department of Privacy